Two. That's the smell of bread baking right there. It's 2 o'clock on a Monday. That must mean one thing. Live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Here it is. The Modern Eater Show is live. This is going to be a great show today. Our friend Jeffrey Nation in studio with us today. We're going to talk bread.
Yes, we are.
Put some bread in the oven, bake some up. We've got some done, but I learned something a little new. We'll just do a little teaser here. Right here. Get in real close. These are called the eyes, right?
Yes.
The eyes of bread. What are they? Do they have significance? They really do. We're going to learn all about bread. Sourdough bread is the theme for today. National Bake Bread at Home Day. That's coming up on November 17th, Jeffrey.
I'm so excited.
Let's
so excited.
Do this. Okay, we also have Stephen Gould here with us from Gould Distillery, and we're going to make up a couple of cocktails for you. In the meantime and in between time, let's do a little bit of news.
Before we get to the news, I'm going to talk to you about Aspen Baking. They are in studio, and if you're somebody who loves bread, if you're a chef that needs bread, if you have a restaurant, you don't have the wherewithal to make your own bread, Aspen Baking is the place to go to do just that.
Nice.
AspenBaking.com is the website. Since 1994, they've been making the most delicious, the most fresh, the most Colorado, if you will, the most Colorado bread in Colorado. So take it from me, the biggest bread lover on planet Earth. I don't need meat. I don't need cheese. I don't need alcohol. I don't need, no offense, Stephen, I don't need any of that stuff. But what I need is bread. And when I need my bread fix, whether I'm a chef, whether I'm a consumer, AspenBaking.com. We're going to get to the news. Watch this little news video we made.
Okay, Monday, and it's the 9th, and things are getting very interesting. Bread and cocktails today. We've got a little bit of news for you. I created such a cool video talking about gray wolves being reintroduced back into Colorado, and I actually went to one of the best that I think, Nathan Rockwood from Gray Wolf Resort in Victor, Colorado, to get his take. There's something called rendering, Jay. Did you know that? When you get done with a video, you got to render it and save it?
Well, I thought you were talking about Gray Wolf, and I'd be like, well, I know that there's rendering on our end. But
that took a little bit of time. So we'll have that for you on Wednesday, along with a little study that I put out. 4 chefs, Eric Hyatt, 4 restaurant owners, Eric Hyatt from Angelo's, Troy Gard from Tag Restaurant Group, and Jared Leonard from Stone Soup Collective, and then Andrea Frizzi. I asked them all 4 questions, and they're really, really good. That'll be ready for you on Wednesday's show as well. I want to direct you to themoderneater.com. This is your one-stop shop. You say, Jay?
Yes.
Where are all the links from today's show? Who are you talking to? I need something of reference. So if you look at my computer right here, I can show you what you need to do. Go to themoderneater.com. Click on the Modern Eater Show, and you'll see the rundown right here. Click on the rundown, and that's your reference guide for the day. It's going to have everything you need. You see today's headline is, let's get baked on the show today. It's Monday Bunday, baby, and that's what it is. So you see everything that you'd need right here. You see Stephen Gould's face, the gold standard, and then also links. Let me direct your attention to this right here. It's the Colorado Restaurant Association 2020 Industry Spotlight Awards. They're taking place tomorrow, Jay, at from 4 to 5:30. And guess what?
What?
There's some great people involved with that. I want to show you the categories that they have here. And the categories for tomorrow's awards are as follows, if I could get my computer to respond. Okay, so the categories for tomorrow are this. Outstanding Allied Partner, Exceptional Newcomer, Outstanding Media Professional, Outstanding Professional, Philanthropist, Regional Outstanding Professional, Bartender of the Year. That's not you, Jay.
No, it wasn't me even when I was making those drinks.
Chef of the Year, Front of the House Employee of the Year, Legacy Employee, and Manager of the Year. This year, more important than ever, generally this gala is a big gala that's held at the convention center downtown. Obviously, with the outbreak and COVID, that's not happening, but it's more important to recognize folks within this industry. Any little bit of encouragement helps, and the Spotlight Awards will continue. You can purchase tickets. That link is on themoderneater.com, Jay, where I just showed you.
Themoderneater.com.
Purchase tickets, $25. It goes right back into the industry to help out folks that are in need. I can tell you this right now, a little bit of a preview. This just came in the mail today, Jay.
Yeah, and you know what? You wouldn't have that if I hadn't have forgot the tablecloth, because when I went back to my house to get it, I'd noticed a box on my porch.
It's a collective effort, and the Modern Eater has been recognized as Outstanding Media Professional of the Year. Means the world to us. It's a collective effort between myself, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Little Rich Schneider, Faith Johnson, and you. Everybody that's taken part and helped us out throughout the years, not just this year, but through the years. This award goes to you. So tomorrow, when we're recognized for this award, we'd love to have you there so that we can thank you as well. So that's the Industry Spotlight Awards. Lots of good stuff coming up for you, Jay. Mm-hmm. But bread's the name of the game today, and then a couple of cocktails.
I'm telling you what, man.
What I prepared for you that didn't render down today into a video, we'll have it for you on Wednesday in our TME News Update. In the meantime and in between time, let's take a little time out. You'll hear from our local sponsors. Please support them. It's needed now more than ever. We'll break from Studio Kitchen. We'll come right back, and I'll be with Jeffrey Nations in the kitchen, and we'll talk Aspen Baking Company bread. Be right back.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4 by Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head, and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now, so while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I'll make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
You're watching The Modern Eater, and now back to the show.
All right, welcome back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado. It is the In the Kitchen segment and brought to you by Elevation Food Service Reps and Rich O'Brien. Please reach out to Rich O'Brien if you have any kitchen needs. He can help you out. Okay, Jeffrey Nation in studio with us, Aspen Baking Company. This is what we love.
I'm excited to do this. It's been a long time. I just heard you guys say that I started the company back in 1994, and I'm like, wait, it's been a long time. So I don't know if I'm going to do this right, but I'm going to try to pull it off and try to remember. Muscle memory.
Just a couple more years, it'll be 30.
I know.
30 years in business, and that's exactly what we love, is local, great, straightforward ingredients, and all together, sourdough bread is my favorite.
It's mine.
Is it yours
That's
too?
why I started the company, was because of this little bread here.
Do tell us what your love for sourdough bread, where'd it come from?
So what happened was that I was going to college here in Denver at Metro State, and I happened to go to San Francisco my junior year, and I ate sourdough bread. And I grew up in Arvada, and all we had was McDonald's bread in Arvada, so I didn't really know that this existed. And so when I ate it, I go, holy cow, this stuff is really good. I wonder why they don't have it in Denver. So that's what started me. I wrote a business plan, interviewed bakers from San Francisco all the way down to Castroville, and found somebody that I really loved that was going to show me how to bake bread and make bread. And so that's what I did. Spent some time down with Claudio Cantori in Castroville, Claudio Specialty Breads, and this is what I learned, and then turned it into a lot of different items, not just sourdough.
Oh my goodness, I know. Just go through that full array. I mean, can you? The product list at Aspen Baking Companies.
Hamburger buns, hoagies, sourdough, artisan breads, semolina, rye. We do marble rye, deli loaves, light rye, whole wheat, sourdough, white. We do Pullman loaves. They're the square loaves. We do those in white and wheat, but when somebody places a large order, we can make them just about anything. The other part of my company also, we do scones, muffins, croissants, Danish, in a beautiful way. So that's just
array.
a part of it. Yes.
As you get to know Aspen Baking Company, go to aspenbaking.com. That's where you'll find everything that you need to know. You gave us a little recipe today, and we'll put this online. It's for pumpkin bread. And if you didn't know, National Bake Bread at Home Day is November 17th. But one of the reasons why I thought it was really important to show folks and your capabilities is the chef. Okay, restaurant chefs everywhere, listen up. You want to have a great bread program. Bread is just quintessential when it comes to anything. Actually, I was at Jared Leonard's at Budlong the other day.
Yeah.
He's fully using all of his buns are Aspen Baking buns,
Yes.
because quality is what he demands. If you demand quality too, but you don't want a full-on bread program inside of your restaurant,
Yeah.
that's where you guys can really come in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We deliver anywhere from 4 to 5 days per week. Fresh bread you can order the day before 11:30, and we can service your restaurant, your hotel,
Do it.
any event that you need. Quantity breads, we can take care of you.
Okay, sourdough. Let's talk sourdough and let's talk bread. Now, I always hear sourdough starter. You gotta have to have a great starter. What's up with that?
So starters mean everything. It's the natural occurring yeast, and that natural occurring yeast is in your starter. And the starter that I have is said to be 70 years old. In fact, I think that my good friend owns Boudin Bakery in San Francisco, and we think that we had run into somebody at the same time someplace, or that worked for him, and my starter is probably the Boudin starter. But
How do you keep that going?
so you feed it every day. It's like a kid. When I brought it back,
Doesn't pay rent.
no, when I brought it back from San Francisco, the first time was before 9/11. So I put the starter underneath the plane. I don't know what happened to it, but it killed it. And so I flew back out there, got some more starter. This time I carried it on the plane, and it lived. And then I would feed it every 6 hours, and water and flour, and it would grow. Once it doubled, pound it down, refeed it, kept it going till I started the bakery. And then would do the same thing, but now at a bakery.
Yeah, I can understand that on like a small level. You're doing that at home, but how in the world do you get that to grow so you're feeding a whole bakery?
So we have vats. We mix them in large mixers, 300 pounds, and we put them in vats and put them half size in the vats, and we wait until they double in size. We take a portion of it, take it back, because that's the starter, take that back and put it into a mixer with flour and water, remix it. That's the starter. The other stuff that's there, we make into basically a sponge, and take that sponge and make the bread.
Wow. So just like there's a sommelier or a cicerone or anybody that really has that taste for whatever. So with bread, could you lay out a whole bunch of different sourdoughs and be able to go through them and know the nuances of it? Or how do you know that you've got a great sourdough?
I know that I've got a great sourdough because people tell me it's great. I tell myself it's great, but I had to find out from other people if it's great. The starter that originated in here came from bread that was, obviously if it was where it came from, it was eaten a lot in California. So, I'm stoked about the sourdough. It's my favorite. But talking about other sourdoughs, other people that make different sourdoughs ferment them in different ways, in different areas, in different climates, in different temperatures. And so sometimes it tends to not have as much sour flavor. Sometimes it has a little bit more sour flavor.
So is it like the ecosystem? Like, why San Francisco? Why is San Francisco? It's got to be the climate, the way that it ferments. San Francisco is very well known for its sourdough.
Well, it's that's where it's known for is San Francisco. One of the things I think that there was a myth, obviously, a long time ago, that you couldn't do sourdough here in Colorado because of the climate or something like that. But what I found is that those people that do know how to make the breads, we tend to need more moisture in the bread, and as long as you do the process correctly, you can have it here. And my other competitors do it very well here in Denver as well.
All right, get in here on this. We gave a little tease of what you showed me something new. You said, "Look at these eyes." I said, "Eyes? What?" And you pointed them out so you can see. And you said, "Which one is it out?" Oh, yeah, show us what the eyes are.
So the eyes are these inflammations on the outside of the bread. The reason why they exist is that this water content and the starter that's in there is a naturally occurring yeast. And what it does is it's doing the process of eating the gluten. It starts to make gas. And what happens inside that bread as it's making that gas, once you put it in the oven, that gas wants to expand, and then you get the eyes on the outside of the bread.
It's fascinating. Never knew that. So let's cut a couple of these open. I want to ask you a question about the flavor. It seems to me heated sourdough brings on a different flavor to me than a sourdough that's cooked but on the shelf. So the reheating for me brings out a whole different flavor and texture. Have you heard that before, or is that just my palate?
No, it's because what happens is that the reason why that happens to you is that you're heating up the bread and it's expanding whatever's in it. The moisture is trying to come out, and so that's why the bread smells the way it smells. When it's not in a heated temp, it doesn't necessarily have that smell because it's contained within the bread. So that's the reason.
Let's bring some bread out of the oven here. All right, we've got some bread that I've been waiting on. It smells delicious in the kitchen again. Jeffrey Nation's here with us today, Aspen Baking Company. You guys need to get ready because National Baked Bread at Home Day is November 17th. And you can give it a shot at home. What are your suggestions to folks that say, you know what, I'm a novice, but I want to get going? What are the components that you need to have in order to be a home baker for bread?
So we're going to let this sit for 2 minutes because whenever you take the bread out of the oven, you don't want to cut into it right away because it tends to smash it. So you kind of want to let it have some equilibrium. So
like
basically,
it's like a steak.
Yeah,
put that
exactly.
steak and let it rest.
So basically what would happen is that if you were doing this at home and you had yeast, you'd have dry yeast, but that's not a sourdough. But if you had a sourdough starter, you'd take the sourdough starter, you'd add the sourdough starter to your flour.
Nice.
You add water to it.
Now, I don't see any great measurements here. Are you eyeing this, or do you just kind of get a little bit in there and then add a little bit more as you need be?
My formulas are exact. This is just me doing this by looking at it. When you're making the bread, make sure that you don't add the salt or the sugar right when you start to make the bread, you want to wait until you're about halfway through mixing it. And then when you're halfway through mixing it, then add the salt. There's the salt.
I picture a 25-year-old Jeffrey Nations in his kitchen perfecting what would be the Aspen Baking Company sourdough bread that we have today. This is the process. There's no easy. You got to get in there and just get to it, right?
Yeah, I haven't. Usually we do with a mixer.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the mixer going to do versus your hands?
It's going to actually mix it better.
Yeah. Take the air out.
More efficient. Take the air out. It'll it mixes all the ingredients together. Doing it by hand, you can do that as well, but it's not as efficient.
Certain romance to it.
Yeah,
though.
it's not as efficient. So what happens is that once you get it out of the mixer, it looks like that.
You want it out?
Or it looks better than that because it's actually fully mixed.
So it mixes it, folds it, it does everything within there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it makes it so that you can then pull it out and let it rise,
Smell the
and then
bread.
cut it. So then you cut it into.
We're coming for you soon.
You cut it into dough pieces like this.
Oh, nice technique. Is there a method to how you're rolling that right now, Jeffrey?
It's a method just to knock as much gas out of it
Gotcha.
as you can and let it. Then you put it on a pan, and then you let it slow ferment for. This process is 24 hours, 24 to 30 hours, and then once you let it ferment, but it has to be in a room that has moisture, otherwise it dries out on the outside and cracks, and then it doesn't look good. But you keep it someplace that's retarded, like 50 degrees, 55 degrees, even 45, it'll rise.
Yeah, so a wine cellar.
Yeah, a wine cellar.
If
So
you
then
don't
once,
have that
so then once it's
closet.
after 24 hours, you have your fermented bread, and you're wanting to take this bread now, and you want to degas it a little bit, because what happens is that if you don't degas the top, where it likes to break open is any place that it was connected. So if you don't cut the top, it'll tend to bust all of these seams open. Okay, so you're letting the bread gas away. You cut it like that. Then you have your bread to put into the oven. So once you do that, you basically take it there, put it here, here, here.
Now, when you were letting this for the 24-hour process, was it covered?
Yeah, it was either covered or it was in a place that had moisture and kept it from getting crusty on the outside.
Gotcha.
That's the key piece.
So if you're in a very arid climate, can you put a moist towel over the top of it?
Put a moist towel. What I would do is I wouldn't put a moist towel because the towel gets stuck into the dough. But what you could do is take saran wrap or plastic bag, whatever, and just make sure that it's sealed around it, and you can ferment it on a table or in your wine cellar, wherever.
Perfect.
Whatever you'd like to do.
Love it.
So then
Here it is, 2 minutes.
it comes out of the oven. Then 2 minutes later,
This is where it's at. Now, a bowl of soup, a little sourdough. There's so many. It's interchangeable. Sandwiches, dinner bread, goes on and on from there. I am, may I? Do you have a plan here? I'm jumping in.
no, jump in. Do it.
I just want to show how delicious. It's warm and great. Got to try this. It's everything you want it to be.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's got that very distinct sourdough flavor, which is exactly what I want. This bread is the best. You need to try it yourself. Aspen Baking Company, aspenbaking.com. What else do we need to cover? Get at it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Bake your bread at home.
Yeah, give them the pumpkin bread recipe. Feel free to try that out. That goes into a pan that has 4 sides to it, and it's a quick bread. So after it's mixed, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then put it in the oven.
Screenshot this right now. We'll also put the recipe up on the Modern Eater Facebook page. I can't thank you enough for coming in here today. This is going to get us going, and we've got our homework cut out for us. So November 17th, make sure you're baking some bread at home. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out. Hit aspenbaking.com, and there's a great resource guide for you too, chefs, if you want to get some bread. Thanks for the In the Kitchen segment.
Thank you so much.
Jeffrey Nation.
Thanks, Modern Eater.
Woo, woo, woo. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cocktails. You want to co-host with me?
Are you kidding
We're
me?
going to do some cocktails. One of the best guys around. His name's Stephen Gould. He's actually behind the camera right now. And he's going to join us for our Booze in the News segment. On a day like today, you know, it's snowing outside, Jeffrey. You need a hot toddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
We're going to do that. We'll take a break, come back. We've got to boil some water. We're going to make hot toddies. I want you to join us. Coming up next, right here, The Modern Eater Show. I love the laugh.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. It's Kyle Mendenhall. I'm talking with my good friends from The Modern Eater Show. Keep supporting them. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, And we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Back at it, we're going to do booze in the news, all the booze news you can use with Stephen Gould and Golden Moon Distillery. But I have to tell you right now about Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Who's Jeff Rourke? Well, he's the man that's going to make your tap dreams reality. He does the most beautiful layouts of tap systems you could ever possibly want. He's the industry leader. Places like Monarch Casino trust him, Tap 14. The list goes on and on. He did the build out for all the Punch Bowl socials, so that means they're flying him everywhere. Maintenance is a big thing with that as well, and adding a line too. Don't get caught flat-footed pouring inefficient beer. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, Jay?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke. It's an easy solution. A+ Beverage Solutions, here's the phone number, 720-272-3809.
What?
720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Okay, welcome back. Jeffrey Nations, he's going to help continue and co-host with me this Booze in the News segment. You like a little warm drink on a cold day?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Put that mic right
All
up.
right, who doesn't?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what we forgot?
Yes.
The hot water.
Oh, the hot water. We can grab the hot water. Okay, here's what I want you to do. While I'm grabbing the hot water, you talk to us, Stephen Gould, about Golden Moon Distillery. And
That I
Speakeasy,
can
if you
do.
Be right back.
Hey, everybody. So I'm Steve Gould of Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy in Golden, Colorado. So we're a local distillery. We make gins, absinthes, variety of whiskeys. Most importantly, we make an award-winning family of Colorado single malt whiskeys. The barley that we use for this is grown in Colorado, Idaho, and Wyoming. It's all malted right in Golden, Colorado. This is a grain-to-glass product. This is a product, and you're going to love it.
Ooh,
so,
fantastic.
What we do?
Go see him. This guy, he's the expert. You think about people like Jeffrey, meant to bake bread. Stephen, he's meant to make spirits.
It's what I do. I've been doing it for 30 years. I run Golden Moon Distillery. My wife's my business partner there. I also work in Ireland part-time, though I haven't been there much lately, as a master distiller for a very large operation in County Kildare. Help out a few other distilleries around the world, places like Israel, Hong Kong, etc. So I've been doing distilling for a long time. I kind of love what I do, and it's beautiful when you make something fun that people enjoy consuming, and it makes people smile.
Absolutely. Okay, on a cold day, your favorite warm cocktail?
A hot toddy. Okay?
A hot
We can do that.
We can do that. Let's make one.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this aside. So we're going to start, classic hot toddy is going to have 1.5 ounces of whiskey. Today we're using our Principium, which is our young Colorado single malt. And I'm going to make one for 3 of us here. That's appropriate. Can't drink alone, right?
No, you cannot. We would not have that. We're givers. So the type of whiskey, you went quickly by that, but are you going to use your top-of-the-line whiskey you have at home, or are you going to use, what are you going to use?
So when you're making a cocktail, I would not use a very, very expensive bottle of whiskey to make a cocktail, but I wouldn't use rot gut either. You're going to want to get a bottle of whiskey that's decent whiskey, and you're going to make the cocktail. When you're making a cocktail, it's all about the ingredients. I'll use a young single malt that's a quality single malt. In this case, ours took a gold medal at the World Spirits Competition in San Francisco last year, so it's a good quality product. And that's where you start. That's the basis. Anything you eat, anything you drink, the higher the quality you're going to start with, the better what you're going to finish with as far as a cocktail, as far as a meal, it's going to be.
Now,
so we're going to start with our single malt.
And remember, anything inside of a local distillery's tasting room is made by them.
Correct. So we're going to start with 1.5 ounces each. We're then going to take, and I'm just going to use this coffee cup as a measuring cup real quick. So we're going to add, give or take, about 4 ounces per drink of hot water. I'm going to assume that's 8. Okay. Then we're going to take and add some lemon juice.
So far, so good.
Get that in there. We're going to take per drink, we're going to add a little bit of honey. Today we're using Ambrosia Honey Company, local Colorado company. We're using their honey. This is what I pour at our bar. This is what I pour on my home bar at home.
Way
I
to
like
support
what they
local. Good for you.
Everything we can do to support our fellow business people, especially right now, is really important.
Absolutely.
That's bars, that's restaurants, that's bakeries, that's butchers, that's farmers. You know, we're all in this together.
Yep.
So
don't do that money wandering. The honey. All right. This is just right where this is what I needed today, Jeffrey, on a Monday.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I am too. This is
okay. So
adult.
we've got some honey in here. Get it to melt real quick.
Now, so far,
Get it a
I
nice
can manage
stir.
putting this together. I don't know about the bread. I need a little practice with the bread, but so far, I think I can handle this one.
I'm happy to help you anytime.
Okay, good. I'm going to need it.
So, and what I like to do when I'm making a hot toddy is I'm going to throw a few whole cloves in the bottom of the glass. I'm going to throw a cinnamon stick in that glass. And I'm just going to pour the hot liquid right over the top.
Please, God, be tempered glass.
Start with you.
Oh,
And again,
boy. You
a
can
few of
just
those.
smell that, huh, Jeffrey?
Another one of those.
Oh, boy.
And I'm making a little bit of a mess here. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Hey, by the way, we have a poll online talking.
All right.
Jay put.
These glasses are bigger than I thought they were, so you guys get to start with these.
Okay, we can do that. Cheers.
Okay.
What's the poll say, Jay? Something like meat or bread? You should have said bread or cocktails. That would have been an interesting one, but renownedly, bread's winning out. All right, here we go.
Wow. Nice.
What do you think?
Done. Yeah, that's the best I ever had.
So really simple cocktail on a hot day like today. A little bit of whiskey.
Cold
You can
day
use-
like today. Now
Sorry.
it's hot.
Cold day like today. Nice hot cocktail. Ounce and a half of whiskey, hot water, little lemon, little honey, cinnamon and cloves if you want. You can add other spices. It's going to fix you right up if you've got a cold. God forbid if you got COVID. Probably going to make you feel better, but that's your call.
Definitely going to make you feel better in a lot of ways. First of all, very well balanced.
Thank you.
Really enjoy this as well. And then knowing what high quality ingredients you're using just gives me that little extra fuzzy feeling.
Thank you.
Very well done.
So you want to do another cocktail? Something a little bit different?
Yeah, you're not going to twist our arm.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a traditional Italian mountain region winter cocktail. It's called the Grolla.
Before you do that, I want to say something about these right here.
Okay. So these are to-go cocktails. We sell them at both Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. We have about 12 different cocktails you can get. We sell them in single serving sizes like what you see here. And then we sell them in large format bottles. Now, right now, with everybody closing down, with restaurants and bars having to go to 25%, with a lot of people really not feeling safe or comfortable going out, you can come by Golden Moon Distillery, Golden Moon Speakeasy.
That's perfect.
Pick up pre-made cocktails, take them home, and enjoy them in the safety of your own home.
I love the packaging, too. Just very
Thank you.
safe. And as you get home, I mean, you're not cutting any corners on this. I don't know if you'll be leaving with these today.
No, I'm going to leave them for you. I'll leave them for you. That's
Actually,
fine.
I wanted to just, while we're doing the segment, we'll pour one of these while we're doing that, too.
Fair enough.
Cocktails
So let me
all
say
around.
one more thing about
Yes,
to-go
please.
cocktails. So right now, restaurants, bars, the entire hospitality industry, like the rest of the world, is struggling because of COVID. Please, if you don't feel safe going out, order food to go, order delivery. You can get a glass of wine or a cocktail from many places as well. They'll deliver, or you can take to go. But show some love to your local restaurants, bars, etc.
Agreed.
Not just Golden Moon, but of course we'd love if you come and buy our to-go cocktails.
Absolutely.
We got bottles for sale as well. And then Golden Moon Speakeasy right in the heart of downtown Golden. We believe it's one of the safest places in the entire state to come and get a cocktail. Every seating area is segregated by plexiglass shields. They still actually look good, surprisingly. Everything is sanitized between seatings. We have air sanitization units, hand sanitizer on every table. Come if you feel comfortable, have a cocktail, enjoy our hospitality as well.
Wow. Very cool, very cool. What do you have here?
So that is a Golden Bijou. So that cocktail actually has a little bit of our Genepe in it, a little bit of gin, a little bit of vermouth. So a classic Bijou is sweet vermouth. This is white vermouth. And chartreuse, this is our gin, our Genepe, white vermouth, equal parts, stirred, served up, delicious cocktail. And by the way, for you caviar fans, that cocktail is the best accompaniment for caviar I've ever found. Now, I'm biased. I make everything in it, so it is what it is.
All right, what's down Cocktail Road here?
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do
what is that? Do you know what this is, Jeffrey?
It looks like one of those things you smoke, those whatever things. No, the things that smell funny.
Incense.
Incense.
An incense burner. Is that an incense burner?
It's not an incense burner.
I was going down the same road, Jeffrey. It's like, gotta give up.
In the mountainous regions of northern Italy
Yeah.
and the Italian-speaking cantons of Switzerland,
Yeah.
there's a tradition. So this is the Swiss Alps, this is the Dolomites, and they call it the grolla. Now, the grolla is what this wooden thing is, but it's also what you put in the wooden thing. And it literally means friendship cup. So they'll make a cocktail inside this.
And then pass it.
And then they'll pass it, and each person drinks from a spout. So this is a 4-person grolla. They have 2-person grollas. I've seen as many as 24-person grolla. That's a giant thing that you pass around.
I have a feeling there wasn't a pandemic when that was
Exactly. So during COVID, we probably don't want to share a single wooden cocktail vessel.
Unless you're family.
Unless you're family and you're comfortable and,
test it.
Scary times right now, especially in Italy.
That is so cool, and I would love to have one. I'm gonna hunt one of those down.
Okay.
Find one.
I
of
can
those.
probably help you find one.
Really?
If you need one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the same thing that we would normally put into a grolla, and we're going to put it in a regular coffee cup so we can enjoy it safely. So it typically starts with coffee, and then you either put grappa or Genepe. Today we're going to use our Genepe. Then you add a little chocolate, and then you garnish it with a little citrus. Today we're going to use some orange.
Wow.
And it's sort of like a very, very adult cafe mocha.
All right,
So let's do this.
Let's get at it. What do you need from me? Just stand back and watch.
Stand back and watch, man.
Okay, here we go.
So I'm going to start with a little coffee. I'm going to use this white cup again as a measuring cup. So you want to use a good quality, either a press pot, or actually when I do this at home, I usually do like a triple espresso. So it's got some serious legs to it. Whoa. And I overfilled it. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to put a little back in there, get rid of it.
Perfect.
Set that aside. Well, I'm going to need the cup. So we're improvising here, folks. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm going to set that right there. Now we're going to take, that's still a little heavy. I'm just going to go pull out a little bit off. Now we're going to take again, we're going to use 1.5 ounces of our Genepe.
Okay. Made at Golden Moon.
Made at Golden Moon.
Wow. Getting a little bit of the warm and fuzzies from that hot toddy. That's
Just
exactly what
a little
you need.
bit. Okay. Now here's where it gets dicey because there's a lot of liquid in that now. Is we're going to add just a little bit of chocolate.
Not in that glass.
Oh, we're still going to add a little bit of chocolate in that glass.
Yeah, what kind of chocolate do you have going on there?
The good kind of chocolate.
That's right. The best of the world. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. The secret chocolate. Oh yeah,
I know what kind of chocolate that is.
Do tell.
No, I don't.
All right, this is
Going to give that just a little stir. I'm making a mess. I apologize, folks.
You're not in your native surroundings.
I'm not in my native surroundings. And I planned on one cocktail, and you're like, I need one each.
Yeah, we need 4 of them. All right.
So get it nice and stirred so it's nice and smooth. We're going to start with, let's let it sit for a while.
Yeah, you're going to pour that.
I am going to pour that, but I'm going to slice my garnish first. So when you're slicing citrus garnish, what you want to do,
get the top. There you go. That's zest.
is you want to take, and you'll notice I'm minimizing the amount of white on that zest because the white or the pith is very bitter. So what you want is a nice thin outer layer, and you've got a lot of oil in this skin, but if you keep the white to a minimum, you're not going to get a whole lot of bitterness. So anytime you do a cocktail, lemon, orange, you want to keep that in mind. So now we're going to take
orange chocolate. Okay, I'm with this. I can't say I've had this one before. This one's new to me. I appreciate you bearing with us.
Making a total mess here, folks. Okay. Make those nice and even.
Okay, don't be jelly at home. You can do this too.
Now, you're going to take your orange zest. You're just going to express a little bit of the orange oil right over the top. Go around the rim so that when someone touches that that mug with their mouth, they're going to get a little bit of that orange. Then you're going to take a nice little twist. You're going to squeeze it so you see the oil starting to pop out of it. You're going to drop it right in.
Like candy. Wow. Didn't know you were in this big of a treat today, did you? Here it comes. That's right. Jeffrey's my new co-host.
Gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness.
The Grola.
Corolla.
Salute.
Salute. Absolutely.
Now, on a cold day like today, there's nothing better than that, right?
That's beautiful. Nicely done. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
Can I wake up every morning to one of these? That's a delicious drink. Yeah. That's a delicious drink. A little dangerous because it goes down very smooth.
Goes down incredibly smooth. There is 1.5 ounces of 50% alcohol Genepe in this glass. So, yeah, this goes down really, really fast.
Wow. That's good stuff. Thank you, Stephen Gould. You can get cocktails like this at your Speakeasy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Golden Moon Speakeasy, 1111 Miners Alley, Golden, Colorado, directly across the parking lot from Myers Hardware.
Jeffrey Nations, he has been a supporter of the Modern Eater Show. I want to publicly thank you for all that you do for us. You think that, you know, at the end of the day, Jay and I and Brian and Faith and Little Rich, it's one thing to have the Modern Eater, but it's another thing to have folks like this that support us to keep this programming on the air. I can't thank you enough. This award means the world to us, but it's people like you that actually help us get that.
Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for watching the show. I'm so happy to be a sponsor and be part of the Modern Eater.
Oh, my God. And it's an obligation, I mean, right? So you do business with somebody, and it's the daisy chain effect, and you support one another, and hopefully your business can help another business that helps another business, and at the end of the day, the money's right here where we need it to be in our community. Local is everywhere. Don't forget that. Bread, what's the bread poll, Jay? I'm telling you, I think bread always... What is it?
86-14.
86, but not even close.
Right.
People want their bread.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But chefs, really, I mean, at the beginning of the show, I said to chefs, I said, here's the deal. I know that you have standards in your restaurant, and you want the best of the best there, and you want to elevate it with a great bread game inside there. But I mean, maybe not so much. You can just call you, and you'll have it there waiting for them. Call me, maybe.
I'll pick up the phone.
That's right. But a lot of great places. Any name drops? I said it earlier. Jared Leonard from Budlong. I was in one of his Budlong restaurants. It's a new one in Washington Park. Have you had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich?
I've not yet.
You got to try one.
I love Nashville hot chicken. We do business in Nashville. Love going there. If I can get a good one here,
you'll love
I'll
it.
smile from ear to ear.
All right, and now they're over the top because they use, which rolls do they use?
That's a good question. It's because it's brand new, and somebody else did it for me because I was with my girls.
It's a good new relationship.
My babies. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that's what you need more and more of that, just great relationships with great products and great brands that are local. Okay, Jay Parker on Wednesday. Who's coming up?
Mr. Tyler Dubois from The Real Deal, who he does a lot of...
What a cool Colorado company. That's an entrepreneur that's been doing a lot of work here locally, and he actually was at an entrepreneurial class that we took, and we were able to meet him. And Little Rich turned us on to him, but The Real Deal. Have you had The Real Deal pickles, you guys?
Yeah, I have. They're really good.
Yeah, they are really good. They are the real deal. So he'll be here, as well as Charles Talbot, Talbot Farms. You guys have heard Talbot Farms, right? 100-year Centennial Farms in Palisade, Colorado. They obviously have a great orchard, apples, grapes, so on and so forth. But he's going to be in. They're doing hard cider now. We all need them. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. Hard cider, we'll do that. Anything else?
Thank you all for watching. Please, Aspen Bread Company. Aspen Bread Company, right? Aspen Baking Company.
Yeah.
Golden Moon Distillery. Support your local restaurants and stay warm. It's a cold day.
Yeah. Cheers. We'll see you on Wednesday starting at 2 p.m. Don't forget themoderneater.com. All of the interviews that you want to see, they're all broken out. You can get your In the Kitchen, Booze in the News, your Healthy Wellness, and your TME News Update. We'll see you back here Wednesday, 2 p.m. We'll kick the rock on down the road as we continue on The Modern Eater Show.